What's up, YouTube? I'm excited about this one. Once again, we're in Run 8, and we're going to be finishing up our trip on the A768. We've only got a little ways to go. We'll back this thing in the yard at Waycross, make it solid with the cut that we're backing in on top of, cut our power off, and take it to the house. That's what we're going to call it a day. We'll probably do a little bit maybe with our power, too. We may break these things up. We don't really need 3 units on this train. I think 2 would always be enough. But if you remember last video, we just left off with Ace Pole. We dropped 2, we picked up 6, and we've got our Rainier cut. We've got a decent train for a local, actually pretty decent, right? We're looking at some center beams that we got. Let's see, these things came out of Gilman Brothers. We got those there. We got all these pole flats at Ace Pole just now. You see our 2 empties that we just set up in there. We got a crap ton of wood chip hoppers here out of Rainier. You see, that's a good bit there. CSX, GPSX, and what is this other one up here? It is IFRX, so some kind of leaser. Looks like they probably got some from a railroad and turned them into leasers. Some box cars and things like that from Rainier as well, too. So, yeah, this is a Rainier cut on the bottom. So, it's been a really good trip, and I have thoroughly enjoyed it. Like, I've been so hyped to get back in here and finish this up and just do these trips, because it's been kind of different for me, you know. Like, usually we do the mainline runs, but here lately we've done a lot of stuff with like working in the yard, doing this local, that sort of thing. So it's definitely been different, and it's been a lot of fun, and like I thoroughly enjoyed it. So looking forward to doing more. We're going to be getting into some why it looks like this thing's like jumping around on me or something. What is going on with that? Yeah, that's kind of odd. I don't know what's up with that, but yeah, I'm looking forward to doing more. I think the next videos the next series we start is going to be a hump job. We're going to work a hump job, right? I kind of think let's see, the Independent will hold this thing right here. It's not very steep. I want to experiment with the hump and tags, and I want to do some things with like re-humps. And if you've never heard of re-humps, you know, the way that I guess I could explain it is like most hump yards never have enough codes for their destinations that they serve, right? Their customer codes, their destination codes, they never have enough tracks. So let's say like locals that work out of Waycross, they may hump them the first time, and they may just go to a Waycross track, and they purely just break them down into Waycross cars, and then they'll go in at some point and they'll go down in there, they'll grab onto them, pull them back over and re-hump them, and the next time they'll break them down into like Oglethorpe cars, Cordell cars, because they're on a local that leaves out of Waycross, right? So then they break it, like they further break it down after that with a re-hump. So that's something that I want to experiment with when we get started with this. Anyway, let's get this thing in forward, knock off the handbrake. I don't know why she's jumping around like this on me. Like, this is really weird. What is going on with this thing? Let's get her rolling and see what she does. Yeah, let's see what she does once we get her rolling here. She's not. There she goes. Now she's moving. She's just ready to go, I guess. Like, and she's kind of like, I don't know, shuddering or doing something that was kind of odd with that. I think she's okay. One of you guys, you remember not the last video, but the video before that, we had a derailment, and one of you guys, I'm gonna give you a nickname, Mr. NTSB. I can't remember the member's name that, or the viewer's name that made the comment, but he figured out when the derailment happened. He figured it out, and I 100% agree with him. He thinks the derailment actually occurred when I copy pasted the train back, because you remember I didn't want to do all that stuff in the plant, so I just picked it up and put it back down. And he noticed, and this dude's got a great eye, because I never noticed this, but when I was walking the train to get on the head in to leave out of Rainier, that car's trucks were already off the tracks. So we drug that thing with a set of trucks off the tracks all the way from Rainier down to Jessup, and then I guess it finally derailed down there. So it's a wonder that we didn't have a huge mess, right? It really is. It's a wonder that we didn't have a huge mess doing that. we got up here as far as lights? We came in on a clear, so we're just going to keep proceeding with that. I'm trying to figure out how I want to do this. We're gonna swing the Y, and we're gonna go down J1 and then back into the yard that way. So let's do that. Let's just kind of ease along down there. We're good. We got our breakers on, our lights, our instruments are lit up here. Our gauges, I should say, rather, not instruments, but gauges. I guess they are instruments, but they're gauges. That's more of an aviation thing. I see a light down there. Looks like an approach. Should be. Yeah, I'm looking forward to doing the hump job. I think that's going to be a lot of fun, especially with the re-humps. I want to get more into that and experience. I'm still learning this stuff, guys. Like, I've had this game for ages, literally for years, since pretty much day one. And even now, I'm getting into things that I really haven't done much with. Like, I've humped some here and there, you know, I've done some stuff in the yards, but I haven't really looked at it a whole lot. I haven't looked at the industries, like setting up industries and stuff like that, working with customers. The one thing that I really need to figure out is how to spawn trains with customer orders. Like, that's the big thing. I've never done that, so I don't know anything. I've got to learn that. Otherwise, we're just gonna have to do some research and figure that out. But we'll get there. We'll just we'll kind of play around with it and see what we can do here. Let's see. I know we got a slow order coming up here, coming into Waycross. I can't remember what it is. It's 15 maybe. It's pretty slow going into town. All right, let's go. Yeah, this is a good local to work. It really just is. It's a good one to work. It's not a whole lot to it, really. If I'd known more, like, it wouldn't have been a big deal up at Rainier if I'd had a better plan in my head. But now I know exactly how I want to work it as far as like shoving the cars in there. I think that would work out best. All right, we got it clear. CSX 76823 has got clear. Bodyman 8974 south out. Bodyman, it makes me wonder. I'm kind of curious about Bodyman. Bodyman's kind of a big name in the railroad if you're into history. For this railroad, not in a broader scale, right? But on the Fitz, the guy that built the north end of the Fitz, and I can't remember where he started at. It may have been Montezuma where he started at and finished building on up the Fitz, and then he went to Atlanta and Birmingham. His name was Alexander Bodyman. He was a great railroad engineer, and I mean like a construction engineer, not like a train engineer. He didn't do that stuff. He built railroads. Some of the last great railroads built in the early 1900s, 1905, 1906. His name was Alexander Bodyman, so I kind of wonder if this spot is named after him. Maybe it may very well not be. But yeah, he did. He built the Manchester sub and the Lineville sub in the north end of the Fitzgerald sub, and he built it to great construction standards, like even to today's standards. You know, they really held up. His son also won the Medal of Honor in World War II. He was a Marine. I want to say he was a Marine. He got the Medal of Honor posthumously. I want to say he died in the Pacific. So that was Alexander Bodyman's son. I can't remember his name, but you can look it up and see. Made the ultimate sacrifice. So yeah, it's pretty interesting little bit of information there. All right, yeah, we got that approach slow. Yeah, we're not going to get too crazy running up here. We're just going to ease along. Yeah, we got an approach slow, and it looks like I see a lot of red up there past it. I can't quite make it out. It should be, I I don't know. An approach slow should be an approach and a stop. Maybe the approach slow is like a distant to the approach. Yeah, so I think we're definitely going to be doing a lot more in the yard. I think that'll be fun. We've got other locals to work too. We've got the 724 out of Waycross. We've got, we could do the Fernandina Rocket, and we could work Folkestone. That would be a pretty interesting one to do. We run that thing all the way to Grand Junction down Jacksonville, and then flip it and come back and work Folkestone, or we could only do half of it. We could do like the A773 portion of it. Either way, we got a ton of options. We do. Or we could go to Oglethorpe. We could do a local up there. We could go to Cordell. Like we got tons of places we could go. All right, let's go ahead and start getting slowed down for this approach slow here. TSX A768's got a approach slow distant to Brunswick Junction, 8974 south out. At some point, we would talk to A-Tower too. We'd call up Reichard A-Tower. We would say A768 calling Reichard A-Tower. They'd say, they would say, A-Tower, go ahead. Say, this is A768 by Bonnyman with, what do we got? 18 lows, 23 empties, 3,000 feet. Engines need to be serviced. Sometimes we'd say, you know, engines are good to go, just need ice or something like that, you know, or whatever, but let them know. And then I guess he could say, he would say maybe come on to the yard, come on to Waycross. And I'll have your yarding instructions for you in a little bit. You know, something to that effect. I'm not really sure if there's a whole, sorry, a whole point on this side or not. It's weird. We had to approach slow. It looks like we got a slow approach up here. I can't quite tell. We got something. I know that. We got something up there. I just don't know what it is. We'll use this grade to kind of slow us up a little bit. It's just made backwards transition. Sometimes these old engines make transition, you'd feel it too. Like they'd have like a surge, or like, I don't really know how to explain it. Like sometimes they feel like they'd hesitate and then surge or whatever. Some of them were rougher than others, but if I remember correctly, I think the SD50's transition pretty rough. I don't know. It's been so long, and that stuff just, it really starts to get fuzzy after a few years. Like I said, I'm thinking about stuff that I haven't thought about in years. What do we got up here? What is this? Slow approach. Slow approach. All right, let's go ahead and line ourselves around J1 here. Around that way, this way, down J1. So you see J1, J2, and J3. Go down J1, we'll back in. We'll be like A-Tower going to swing you around the Y, down J1, back you into, I think, did we say R1 yesterday? We're going to have to go back and look at it again. We've done this before in sim. I've got another video a long time ago. We did the, I think it was the 647 we backed in. I would imagine with the advent of PSR railroading, they probably don't back in as much because the trains are so long now. I think someone had left a comment yesterday and is talking about how much stuff had changed. What is this diamond board here? I can't remember. 15, okay. CSX A768 23 has got a slow approach. Plant Avenue 8974 south out. That has changed a ton. It's like night and day since I did it 20 years ago. Literally like night and day. I worked in and out of 3 major hump yards back then. Birmingham, Atlanta, Waycross. 2 of those 3 are now gone. Tilford and Boyles are now completely gone. They're no longer hump yards. What else? All the symbols are completely different now. Everything's completely re-symboled, re-lettered. You know, that's all different. AC 4400s are the ragged engines now. They're brand new when I hired out. They were still delivering them when I was working. And now you've got PSR railroading. Would be another thing is different, way different. Using DPUs, they're using DPUs. If you told me back in the day that we'd one day be using DPUs, I would have laughed. I would have laughed at you. Because that idea had been thrown out back then and it was shot down all the time. It was shot down all the time because they were worried about communications issues and stuff like that. But yeah, I never would have dreamed in a million years we'd have DPUs. So that's something else is different. Like I said, PSR railroading, 15,000 foot trains plus. Never thought that was the thing. You know, I remember having a train that was 11,000 feet, and that thing was a pain. Like, it's so up the entire river. I remember having an 8,000 foot empty grain train. It was 2 grain trains put together, and like that was a pain. Like that was a big deal too. Like we had to do some coordinating with the dispatcher on different things that we had to do for that. So all right, going by the ice house here. This is where if you weren't going to the yard, this is where we'd swap out right here. This little office had some computers in there, just the basic stuff that you would need. All right, let's ease on around here because we're gonna have this stop. This is a bad spot right here. Like I should have come in here a little slower than that. Damn, I can't even see it. Like, where's it at? There it is. All right, we got it restricting. I guess you call this South Y. I can't remember what we called this. I honestly can't. I don't even know if I ever called this because, like, usually if we swung around here going this way, the few times that I ever did, maybe once or twice, was because we were going to back in, and I think in the middle of all that, I was probably ready to getting ready to hop down up here and shove in. All right, we'll ease on around. Yeah, so what else has changed? What else has changed on that? I think those are the major changes. I think trains being able to like self-report infractions and stuff, like I don't remember that being a thing back then. I think the only time they got data off of locomotives is if they specifically just went and got it, right? I think so. I don't think it's self-reported, like it didn't report in anything, and they didn't have a reason to download that stuff unless something happened, right? Like, unless, I guess maybe they would spot check, but I don't remember like anyone griping about them spot checking, like just downloading a recorder and spot checking whatever. So I guess that wasn't a thing either. I don't remember it being a thing. BTC wasn't a thing. All right, so what we got to do is get our bottom by this this signal right here, and then we'll be good. Just pull by it, get a light, and then shove into the yard. We got to figure out where we're going. All right, let's go ahead. We'll hop down right here. Got to go through it though. There we go. Man, I wish we could quill these things. That would be so cool. To be able to use like a joystick and quill, right? I mean, it would work, right? Technically, it should work. Have a way to where you put in so much input on the joystick, it activates one bell on the horn, and then the smallest bell, and the more you give, the more air it, like the more bells it activates. Maybe, I don't know. It sounds good in my head, but usually what sounds good in my head doesn't work out in real life, right? Like, it's just the way it is. All right, let's start slowing this thing down. There we go. Ease her down a little bit here. Get rid of all this. Guess we could change it and see what we're doing here exactly. 4.8, not bad. Yeah, so we just we hang out here and wait. I like these big chip hoppers. There's some of my, I guess if I were to have a favorite rail car or favorites, you know, I mean, most all of them are just great cars, but the chip hoppers are pretty interesting, especially these big Greenville, the big Greenville chip hoppers with the embossed pedals on them. I wonder why they did that. I wonder if that was like a strengthening thing, or maybe a way to add a little more structural integrity. I don't know why they would do that, honestly. It's kind of interesting, though. Like, you don't ever see any other hoppers like that. It's always the Greenville stuff that did that. These things were interesting because I remember when one of the things we had to do when I hired, especially when we went to Jacksonville, down at West Jacks for that, I guess it was that week that we were down there. They had the cars down there we played on. I guess it's kind of similar to what they did in Atlanta with the Ready Center. That didn't come until after me, right? But one of the things that they made a point to do was they had one of these Greenville chip hoppers as one of the cars that we had to work on, except it had a high-mounted handbrake on it. Like most of them, the handbrake is down here, right? Down here, just like any other place. But you see these had the high-mounted. So, yeah, we'd have to go up there and, you know, work the handbrake. And let me tell you, that's freaking high. That's really, like, that's high, guys. That's really high to be standing on that ladder and messing with that handbrake. I couldn't imagine having, like, that handbrake was really easy to manipulate, but I couldn't imagine having one that had like a stuck handbrake on it. That would suck. Like, I don't even know how you would handle that. Like, how you would do that. That would suck, though. All right, there's our bottom coming around. Man, for 3,000 feet, like, she's just seems really long. Must be going upgrade down there. I think there's a crossing down there we got to blow for. I'm not worried about the head in now. I'm only focused on this part right here. We'll get out here, we'll clear this signal up, and then we'll figure out what track we're going to back into. I know I said yesterday, I think we figured out, but I can't remember the track. I like these T-boxes. Those things are nice. That'd be something else that always stuck out to me, even as a kid, like seeing this stuff. Railbox, Railgun. Who remembers Railgun? You don't see Railgun around as much as you used to back in the day. I say Railbox, Railgun, Solid Cold, Solid Gold. Those are ones that always like really stuck out to me. SP Golden Pig. Would be another one that really jumped out. The BN Innovation, the green. You remember the green truck trailers they used to have back in the day, the 45 footers. They were solid green. It had the Burlington Northern, the BN on the side. I think it said BN Innovation, right? That was all good stuff. If we still had all that stuff, I would probably actually consider rail fanning now, but it's all the same to me. At least to me, it's all the same now. There's not much variation or difference in anything. It's all the same. That should be good right here in a minute. Just a little bit further. Go a little bit further. I don't want him to stop and then the slack rolls out and he rolls back into the signal, right? We don't want that. Yeah, there's a little bit of a grade down there. That should be good right here. Let's go independent. All right, now we got him stopped. Let's go take a peek at the yard. I want to say it was R1 was the one that we said we're going to go into, so we'll go check it out. I think it was R1. R1's got, what did we say it had yesterday? Let's do train stats here. Why is it not? Is it showing it down here on this end? $51.73, and we are... Oh, I just went by it. 30.45, so 81.73, so we'll round it up to 8,300 feet. Yeah, it's either that track or nothing. If we're going to back in, this is the track we need to back in on top of. What? Whose cars are these? What train is this for? See if we can kind of dope out at least a little something here. Got a bunch of Baldwin and Wildwoods and Baldwins, Wildwoods, Charleston's and Augusta, some Moncriefs. Yeah, I don't know where this thing came out of. Probably something from up north, some Tampas. Yeah, it has to be one of the trains from up north. So yeah, we'll back in on top of this dude. See, we got that switches line. I gotta follow this thing out of here. All right, this is the one we need to get right here, and I don't know where it's at on the map. So the one little trick, if I could teach you guys any kind of trick in Run 8, this is definitely a good trick right here, is just stand. You hit F12 and stand on the ground like you're walking around, right? Stand on top of the switch. Go to your F3 and it's going to flash. And then you're going to know. exactly where it's at. So we got that, right? We're good with that. That's the thing I hated about backing in the yard at Waycross is I didn't come in and out of here enough to really know where I was going. Like, I was purely at the mercy of the tower. If they misrouted us, I was just along for the ride. Like, until we couldn't go any further. Or unless it was like blatantly obvious that we were going the wrong way. Like, I was totally at their mercy. But like I said, the 1 or 2 times that I backed in, they routed us the right way. It was never a problem, but it was something I didn't care for. That is for sure. It was a lot. It's like a maze of tracks. So I think we need to get this one up here. I think this one right here. Where's this at? I guess it's the next page. Right here. Okay, and then J1 that way. So we should be good. Yeah, we should totally be okay now. I mean, I guess it's honestly, like, looking at it like this, it looks pretty cut and dry going in there, but like I said, it can be a lot. And then we're good down here. So yeah, I think we're set. All right, let's oops. Not there. There we go. Now we're on the bottom. Feel that bell. We don't need all that mess. You know we can't hear it. All right. What side do I want to ride? I think we'll ride the inside so I can kind of see a little. That's not really a good side to ride on because we don't have any rungs. So I mean, we could hang on to those over there. We'll go on this side. A little better side to ride. All right. We'll tell them we're load up, ready to go. As far as our shove, where we give our light at? Right here. So we need to get that one back. We'll go that way. Should be lined in all the way. All right. Yep. We got it restricting. Pop this girl in reverse. Get up to my speedometer here so we can see what's going on. Release the independent. Let's start shoving. Have you guys ever shoved into the yard? If you play this game, let me know in the comments if this is something you've ever even thought about. Because like I said, probably not now. With PSR railroading and everything being, you know, 50,000 feet long. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. It's not 50,000, but you get my sarcasm, right? Like, it's stupid long trains, so they probably don't back in. Like, they probably have to double them now. Like, you think if one track's 8,000, the other one's 9,000, and you got a 17,000 foot PSR train. So yeah, you'd have to cut and shove into another track. Man, that would be a pain. Gosh, I'm glad. I am so glad I don't have to deal with that. Be like, it's the most ridiculous thing ever. I've already been on that soapbox. I'm not going to get on that again, but either way, we'll shove in. We'll shove in the yard. Man, it's already getting late. Like, there we basically were trimming in the morning on this job. And we, I think one of the trains we sent out of here about 11 or 12. So, not too bad. That's getting late in the evening. I didn't realize that. It sure is. It's getting late in the evening. It's still the 23rd, right? It hadn't advanced. Oh, it completely changed the time. Yeah, it completely changed it. So none of this may be right. This may have got, the time got jacked up somehow. Yeah, dude, the time got completely jacked up. We're not going to do car counts today. I ain't going to bother with that. We're just going to shove it in. What does the sign say here? NTCS. course, it's completely different here. This is another thing that would be different. You know, someone's asking about how it changed. You got the diamond here, right? The diamond, you no longer go through town. Up there at Plant Avenue, they took that out. They've been wanting to get rid of that for a long time. There's been so many cars hit there at Plant Avenue. So many cars. I think you can get on Railroad Picture Archives and you probably find pictures of cars hit there. I think there's 1 or 2 pictures of car, like a truck. I think it was an 18-wheeler got hit right there. Operational headache for the railroad doing all that. Let's see what else. Bowline was almost shut down. The bowline would be coming out of the west end of the yard down here, and then it came back. They brought it back, right? Now they're upgrading it. That's the thing. Railroads are so fickle. Like they get a hair up their butt sometimes, right? Yeah, we're gonna mothball this line, and then they do it for a little bit, and then they're like, ah, we're not going to do that now. Let's do something different. It's like, I'm waiting for the day when the shoe drops, when they regret getting rid of Tilford and Boyles, like all these hump yards. You know, I don't know. Maybe they may one day. I mean, they're making it work. I don't keep up with a lot of that stuff, so I don't know how like smoothly it's working now, but I could regret that. It would not surprise me if one day the railroad came back and said, let's put Tilford back in. Let's put one of the humps back. Let's completely rebuild it, right? Just put it back in. Let's rip it out. Now let's put it back. They did it so fast. That's the thing, right? Like it was here and then it was gone. Like old Double H didn't mess around. He didn't mess around at all. You really didn't. Man, they made a decision and they went with it. There was no like studies or trying to figure out. That's something that, like, if you told me back in the day that those 2 humps would be ripped up completely and gone, I would definitely have laughed. Man, there's always, it's not like those humps were empty and not doing anything. That's the crazy thing about it. Like, they may have been a hot mess as far as what was going on and efficiency, but it wasn't like they weren't doing anything. Like, it was always crazy congested in Atlanta and Birmingham. You know, like crazy congested. Lots of stuff going on up there. All right, well, we keep shoving. We're looking good. We'll eventually make it down there. Look at all those lights. They're a different color, though. I think in real life they're different. I'm trying to remember what they were. Maybe they had a green? Maybe it was green and something. I can't remember. I don't think it was yellow and white, though. Maybe it was green and yellow. That's pretty cool, though. Too bad we couldn't have shoved in here late, like late evening. That would have been pretty interesting to do. So you basically keep getting them car counts, you know, as far as you can see. So, like I said yesterday, give them 10. Get the 6, give him 10 more, you know, just keep them moving, you know. He's going to go 10, he's supposed to go the 10, and he starts getting close to 10, he's going to get ready to stop if you don't tell him anything else, because he don't know, like, he doesn't know if you fell off and got hurt. He's not just going to keep shoving, like, you tell him, come on back, 768, 10 cars, and then he goes 10 and just keeps on going, because he doesn't know if you fell off and got hurt or what. So, when you start getting close to 10, he's going to start, like, slowing down, you know, because he hasn't been told to do anything else, you know. He don't know if he's going to hit something, if you've been hurt. you know, what's going on. So you just keep feeding them car counts as you go along and keep the shove going, you know. He's gonna keep easing along, you know, and if your engineer, like, if he gets a little fast for your taste, because you're the dude hanging on to the bottom riding, you can always tell him, hey, just ease him down a little bit. Let's ease him down some, you know, and he'll slow him up a little bit for you, you know. I mean, he's there to, you know, do what you need, so let's ease him down some. One of the worst things I ever did as far as backing, we had to back into the yard in Birmingham one night, and we were on, like, I want to say it was a 669. It was a Hamlet to Birmingham train. It was a new train that they'd started back then. And we got into Birmingham after dark, and they had a local in one of the receiving tracks on the south end, and so they had us swing high past the receiving yard, past this place called Cedar Street. I'm trying to remember what the name of the location was where we went in there, but there were so many places. There was like an AX and like all kind of different locations, but so they swung us high by it, and I jumped down and then got on the bottom, and we shoved in, and it was pitch black in that yard. That yard had zero lighting to it, like no lighting whatsoever. And they backed us down a receiving track that literally had trains on both sides. So it was like a narrow corridor that we're going down. And there's another train sitting down in there somewhere. But at night, you couldn't see jack. Like, I could not see anything down in there. Like, it was so freaking bad. I was doing everything I could to see where that train was down in there, because there was nothing on it to mark where it was at. And like I said, it was nighttime, and you had a train on each side. And so it made it even darker down along the ground, you know. And so we're shoving down in this track, and I keep telling my engineer, I was like, I just ease him down, you know, ease him down. I didn't tell him I couldn't see anything. I didn't want to get on the radio and do that, but like, I just kept like, just ease him down, keep easing him down until we're just barely crawling down in there. And I'm trying to think, like, how can I see this train in enough time before, like, you know, I mean, we're going in there slow enough that we should be able to stop by the time I saw it, but I didn't feel comfortable with that. Like, I wanted to see it, right? I wanted to see what I was backing in on top of. So I just took my lantern and I just started swinging it like back and forth across the tracks. And eventually I could kind of see the wheel treads, like the light kind of reflect off the wheel treads in the distance. And then I could kind of get an idea of where he was at down there. But man, that sucked. I really, like, that was a moment that I really, really hated on the railroad. I didn't like that at all. Like, I couldn't see anything. There was literally no yard lights. No light. Like here, you know, you see these big yard lights, and that's kind of true to life. It was pretty lit. Like, Waycross was really nice. A lot of room between the tracks. Like, I don't think these are like standard centers between here. Yeah, it's absolutely not standard. This would be more like standard right here. But the centers, yeah, there's plenty of room. But man, in Birmingham, and like the yard just wasn't well groomed. What I mean by that, like, the ballast was all rough and like all messed up, and there's trash all over the ground and pieces of cross ties and, you know, just all kind of junk laying around everywhere. Definitely way different than Waycross. Waycross was kept up really nice. Birmingham was kind of like the stepchild. It's like the stepchild. Yeah, that sucked. I remember that, shoving down in there. So yeah, the instance where you tell your engineer, just keep easing them down, you know, just ease them along, slow them down, give them shorter car counts, of course, you know, only as far as you can see, you know. And then if you're still not comfortable with that, you don't have to give them what you can see. You could give them less than that. Like, you know, I mean, really, you could give them, you know, give me two, give me two, like, if you wanted to, you know. I mean, it'd take you forever, but I mean, we're going so slow, and, you know, I controlled the speed by just telling him to ease him down. You know, I kept telling him to ease him down until he got to a speed that I was comfortable with, which is basically a slow, I guess we're kind of going down in there like at a slow walk. I was just worried that, like, we'd go down in there and those cars would pop up, like, I'd finally be able to see them, then I'd have to be like, okay, 669, stop, you know, and then he's gonna be like, what? Like, yeah, you didn't want to surprise him. He's a good engineer too. I remember the engineer I had that night. In fact, he was the one that told me, because I was already kind of talking about leaving. He's like, if you're gonna pull the pin, do it now. Do it sooner than later. He's like, definitely do it sooner than later before you get a lot of time invested. So we'll keep shoving down in here. We'll stop a little bit short. We'll take the EOT off. They'd have a yard van here waiting on us. Someone left a comment about that too. Said you must have done a lot of walking in a yard that big. Not really. They had yard drivers down here that would drive you. Like in they were in Chevys. What were those? What were those things? I think it's kind of like a Suburban, maybe. Back in the day, new yard drivers that let's say they'd go out and meet you. And so let's say we have to make this coupling down here, right? Take the EOT off, make the coupling, and so he'd be parked over here, maybe on this access road over on the right, waiting on you, or he might drive down in here somewhere, you know, about where you're going to be at, because they'll tell him. And we'll make a coupling. I take the EOT off, throw it in the back of the truck. They had EOT racks. I think there were EOT racks at the end of the receiving yard tracks. And he just drive you back to the head end, you know, and then you go up there, cut your power off, and then you do things. So yeah, I never did a lot of walking in the yard here. They had yard, like all the yards had yard drivers. I remember one of the yard drivers that we had in Birmingham. He was, gosh, that dude was probably past retirement. He had to have been well past retirement, I would think. He'd been around on the railroad for a long time. Like, he was an agent back in the day. Like, he was an agent, and when they got rid of his position, he started working at the yard, and then I guess he wound up, like, his last days, he was just a yard driver. He was just a carry-all driver. Like, you know, sometimes they'd get your paperwork for you and bring it to you if you needed something or something changed. You know, they would do that. All right, that'll do right here, 768. Let's go ahead and hop down. Let her settle down a little bit here. So basically, man, I wish we could shift F7 that thing, but I guess it really don't matter because we don't need to move it. So go in here, close angle cock, remove the EOT. We'll set it off to the side. We'll take it over here. If the yard driver was sitting there, we'll take it, throw it in the back, right, or set it on the ground. Come down here, get ready to make our coupling. I say, come on back, 768, good half two coupling. Hopefully we're in the clear up there. I won't be surprised if we're not. All right, 20 feet. 5. That'll do. There we go, nice. I don't remember lacing the air hose. I think we literally just made it solid, right? And I think what we do is I tell them to pull on them, which is something we really haven't done in game, and something that really just kind of dawned on me just now. I hadn't thought about for a long time. We tell them, give me a pull. Just make sure everything's solid, right? And the pin drop, because like you don't want the hump job to come in here and grab onto the bottom down here and then be shoving it, and they have to stop, and then this end is just keeps rolling, right? Like you want to make sure. I think they got to pull on it too, like when they grab it. In fact, I think that happened down here once. I think they got into the side of another train that was coming into the R yard because something rolled out on them or something, like I can't remember what, but okay. So the yard driver, he would grab us. You take me down to the other end here, right? Oh yeah, that worked out perfect. That's the only track we could have done that in, I think. Yeah, that's the only track. Come down here, put a couple of handbrakes. There we go. And honestly, the other end would knock the handbrakes off a bit. All right, what do we grab onto? Where did we grab onto this? It was right here, yeah. The whole thing's probably, that whole cut's probably gonna have brakes on it, so we're not gonna worry about it too much. But yeah, they put the handbrakes on down here at the bottom. Because this is the end they're gonna be grabbing onto when they hump. So that is good. You don't have to lace. I don't remember lacing air hoses anytime we did that. I don't like. I think that's kind of a moot point because they're fixing to be dumping the air on this whole thing anyway. Like they're going to go along and bleed all the cars and get it ready. So I don't think that's. I don't think that'd be necessary. Close you. Open the coupler. Yeah, but stretching them out. Yeah, that's something I totally forgot about. That I totally forgot about stretching. That would definitely be a thing. All right, so now we gotta take our power to the house, right? And I gotta think, like, how are we going to do that? What would be the best way to go to the house? That's going to be that's going to be a hot minute to get down there. Can't really. I don't think we can go on this side. We have because we have to go through the shop, right? Yeah. I never remember going this way. When we did it, like, I know for a fact when I did it on the 647, we came down like this track over here. We may just do that. Take it the way I know. There, let's hop in. Let's go. Blast off out of here. Now some Selkirk cars here. Yuli's, Moncrief, FEC. Yeah, don't let these symbols discourage you, guys. It's like you don't have to have that. If you purely just want to run trains, you can do that. You don't have to get into all that. I mean, if you want to, fine, you can, but or if you're a new user, you don't have to complicate things a lot with all that stuff. Like, I wouldn't expect anyone to know that stuff unless, like, you really kind of know the railroad and how things work. But I think we could just go this way right here, just clear this switch. No, let's just hop down right here. That's be a good way to go. Just gotta find it. We got to find it. Where's she at? Oh, actually, I need a tab. Here we go. Let's tab. Okay, so we need to line it back that way and then come down T10. I think we need to line that one and we should be good. Yeah, we should be good with that. Pop up. Make sure we're good this way. Yeah, we're lined. Yeah, we're down. Okay, yeah, we're lined down T10. All right, that'll work out. Yeah, this is a move. This is a whole move in itself right here. It really just is. Let's give her a little oomph here. Yeah, that sun's going on down. Yard doesn't stop though, 24/7. All the time. There you go, got some New Orleans Knoll is New Orleans. There's New and Knoll. I think one of them is the UP side. I think one is the CSX side. Yeah, it's another. I think those are UP sides. Cincinnati's, Atlanta's, Nashville, Selkirk, Nashville, New Orleans, UP. I'm going to call it New Orleans, UP. I could be wrong on that. Waycross. These are going to be assigned. We'll assign them later to wherever we want them to go. Load out. I'm trying to think. These could go. They could go off route, completely off route, and just be gone, or we could send them up to Fitzgerald to that. What is that place? Southern Veneer. I think there's a couple of places up there that load wood chips, right? We'll have to go check it out. We could send some up to, we could go to Oglethorpe there to chip mill. Load some up there. So they're just Waycross right now because they're not assigned to a customer. So Birmingham cars, Nolans. Montgomery, Savannah, Russell, Kentucky. Russell's, we'll put those will go on the train that goes to Irwin, whichever train that is, 490, 492, whatever that is. Atlanta's. There you go, what, the 650 or the 544. Birmingham's. I think all the chip hoppers we put the Waycross. So really, before we hump that cut, we could decide like what we're going to do with them. We could keep a few of them on route, or we could just send them off. We could sending some out the Bowline way. That would be a good way to go. And we got a Augusta, Baldwin, Wildwood. Baldwin, GFTA TDSI. I'm not sure. Like, it looks like it's routed to Taft TDSI. Via Baldwin? I don't know. That's kind of weird. Hamlet's. Taft A790. So that's going to the end of the A line. 799. Let's go into Industries. Yeah, Taft. And some Baldwins. I don't know what LAC is. I guess LAC is an industry down there at Baldwin. Oh, we took the wrong way. Never mind. Spur's watching the tab. I was watching the routes on the train and not paying attention. Oops. All right, stop. 768, stop. That's good. That'll do right there. Don't tell no one that you messed up. Don't ever say anything on the radio, right? Don't say a word. Just be like, I need you to ease down right here, 768. Just ease it down. Then you'd be like, you know what, let's just take him ahead about a car. Yeah, don't tell on yourself. Don't pimp yourself out over the radio. Just like, just be like, yeah, just stop right here real quick. There you go. All right, that'll do. Your switchback right there. We go. Now we're good. I'll back up. And sometimes, if you have an issue, you may like go talk to the engineer. You know, go talk to him. Don't say nothing over the radio. Just go talk to him. Let him know what's going on. You know, like that wasn't a big deal, but. Go talk to him. Be like, I need you to, like, we got to do this, okay? We're going silent mode. We could totally use hand signals on this too. We could have told him to stop. That probably would have been the best way, honestly. But anyway, Charleston's, Tampa's, yeah, Tampa's, Wildwoods. Yeah, the thing about knowing these symbols is like you really got to know the structure of the railroad really well. Like what is beyond you, right? Like Wildwood isn't on the route. That's off route. You know, that's off route stuff. Pecan. Let's go into Georgia Pacific and Pecan. Down in Sanford. Baldwin's. Moncrief to the FEC. I wonder who does the most interchange with the FEC. Is it DNS or is it CSX? Or is this about equal? It may be about equal. Yeah, we got some FECs. Got another Selkirk there. We need to get these other trains. We need to get those trains out of here. I thought we did. I thought we got them out of here, but I guess we didn't. I guess we just built them and left them, moved on to other things. Got some TAFs. Go to the local down there, 799. More pecans. I wonder what Baldwin LAC is. I'm kind of interested in that one because it doesn't have a local symbol in front of the LAC. So it's not like Baldwin Y385 LAC. Charleston, Miami. Savannah. Wildwood, Montgomery. And there's so many more symbols than just this too. Like this is very abbreviated. And as far as your hump yard, I don't know how they did it at Waycross, but they could theoretically like do it in blocks. So let's say in the morning they're humping northbound traffic, and in the evening they're humping southbound traffic. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like they kind of break it up by direction. I don't know if they do that for a fact, but there's one thing they could do. That's how, like, when the railroad gets out of whack, it really throws things off because it throws off like all the schedules. There, we'll have to grab this switch up here. That's nice here in the yard in the evening. I like it. Four taps over there. There, get right user down here, grab this switch. We should be good to go. We'll have to watch the yard ladder there. All right, that'll do. Hop down, grab her switch. Get her back right. There we go. You know what? Let's go ahead. Let's just grab all these so we don't have to worry about it. That's good. That's good. That's good. Actually, we didn't need to do that. We could have gone straight. We don't need to go down the yard ladder. Spur wasn't thinking. We just go straight ahead. We could cross over there and go around that way, but we'll take the tunnel. Yeah, we'll take the tunnel. That'd be cool to do. I like the tunnel. All right, let's catch up. All right, let's go. Yeah, it's pretty busy in the yard, guys. Like, it's pretty good there. There's not a lot of power in the service center. Yeah, rail units in the world, 7,200. I think it's like 6. So when I load this, it's like 618 trains or something like that. All right, let's go a little bit further here. Man, I wish they had some SD40s for hump engines. I don't know. It's just something I'd love to see. Be nice. Have them stenciled right shard hump unit. Looks like our switches are good. Yeah, we're good with this. All right, let's slow her down a little bit here. There, I gotta slow her down a lot. Coming in hot. Trainmaster's sitting right up there in that tower, so he'd most definitely see us. Man, she's still, that's a pretty steep little drop off going down in there. So yeah, we take these things to a service center, getting ready for tomorrow's trip. We won't actually do it, but they'll be there ready. We could we'll break them down. Where, like I said, three's a bit much. You don't need 3 on this job. 2 would be plenty. Or we could do something completely different. We could take 2 SD42s. We could take a 45-2 and a 40-2, like a 4-axle GP unit. Like, there's no telling what we could do with this thing. All right, switch is good there. Yeah, everything looks good. The only one we gotta watch, and this is the one that gets me all the time. If I ever get a switch, pick a switch, is this one right down here. That would be it. Yeah, this line, so we're good all the way. Sweet. We good all the way. Whose road powers is here? I don't know. I don't remember doing that. Was that already there? Maybe it was already there. There, let's hop down. Let's swing down here. Oops, let me do that. Sweet, it's good right there. Hop up, take them ahead, reduce independence, go forward. Let's double check. I could have swore that, yeah, we didn't even get into that switch, so we're good with that. I just wanted to make sure, because that switch has got me so many freaking times. That switch has a vendetta. We should be doing 5 in the service center. We're not doing that. We're totally not. We're not doing 5. They're gonna be lucky to get 10. Yeah, I think there was a blue flag derail down around there. And we might need to get... Do we need to get this switch here? Yes, we do. Let's just fly on down here and grab it. So I don't want to stop. We'll hurry up and get in here and call it a day. Where could we go? We could go in that bay right there if we need to. I don't even know if we need to, honestly. Like, let's fuel. Well, that's not bad. That could make a few more trips. Yeah, I could do. Yeah, all these could do a few more trips. I can't remember. Were they topped off when we left out? I wish I'd paid attention now to see how much, like, if they were topped off when we left out, like what exactly they burned. But yeah, those don't need to go in. So I think what we'll do is we'll just set them down here in front of the service center, figure out what we're going to do with them later. Let's route him. Let's go that way. Yeah, we could totally break these down and do something else with them if we wanted to. What do they look like? We could take that head end off. Yeah, this one would have to be the one to go because we need to butt to butt. So it'd have to be like if we stay with this set and just take one off, it would have to be these two right here. Or we could take the center one out, but that's kind of a lot of work, right? We just take the head end off. Yeah, I think that'd be the way to go. Is our light on dim? No, it's not. I thought we had that on dim. See, that does it. Yep, now it is. This wasn't set up right. I guess we could go ahead and top them off. Like, it ain't gonna hurt anything. It's not like we're gonna be doing anything with them, so they can sit down here. Nice. Been a productive trip, guys. We got a lot done. Kill that headlight. Let's kill those on the bottom. Kill the bell. Put it in neutral. Yeah, center reverser, full independent. Get a handbrake. And she should be good to go. What do these look like? Are these? Yeah, that's. I can't remember. I can't remember the state of any of these units when we put some of these in. We put these. Yeah, they're all topped off. So that one's not topped off. Okay. So it must take a while. I'm not sure how to service this stuff. I thought you just put them on the spot. And it does it, but I'm not sure on that. I need to look that up and research it. All right, there we go. Another job in the books. So I think next one's going to be humping. Yeah, we're going to do a little humping here. Got a few cars down here, a few Savannahs and Augustas. We got some empty tracks. Yeah, I got to do a little planning on this. Do we have a Waycross track in here? Do we have just a wax? Let's go to the hump controller. Let's look at it up here. Yeah, we do. B41. Yeah, we could put everything in B41. Even honestly, like even our I mean, we've already got an Oglethorpe and Cordell track, so it's already kind of in the process, but we could take those out and do those with something else and just put all that stuff in the Waycross track and then pull it back over and rehump it later and put in the Oglethorpes and the Cordells and the Fitzes and Manchesters and all that stuff to get the locals ready. There's tons of ways you could do this, but I kind of want to, I want to experiment with rehumps. Anyway, guys, that's going to do it for this one. Man, look at that view. Isn't that pretty sweet? That's pretty slick. Hump yards are so cool. Like, they fascinate me. Anyway, that's going to do it. Hope y'all enjoyed. If you did, be sure to hit that like, subscribe, ring that bell, leave me a comment. Love all of you, and we'll catch you next time. We'll probably pick up with some firefighting content. Anyway, we'll see you next time. Peace. No, big cat, no. Oh, no. No, kitty. Oh, that's a MiG. That's a MiG over us. Okay. It's the weirdest day ever. Oh, no. He just